They're not even buying boxed spaghetti. They have to make the flour and pat it and roll it and put it through that machine like this, and then the spaghetti comes out the other side. We're gonna watch this video from Trust Your Pilot TCG from July, titled "Pokemon TCG Live Should Be Cancelled." Okay, PTCG Live should be canceled. Here we go.
If you've been following Pokemon TCG Live at all, you know that there's one really great thing about it. The crafting system, and about 100 terrible things about it, matchmaking issues, bugs, creepy avatars, boring board, effects that make you feel sick, and so much more.
Okay, so let's start off. Um, this person is saying they like the crafting system. Yeah, sure, the crafting system's pretty good. Also said that there's like 100 terrible other things about it. Definitely gives the review a taste of bias from the start, but I think it's going to be very hard to find a PTCG Live review that is not negatively biased from the start. That's just the theme of PTCG Live right now.
But this past week, the game hit a new low 4 months after the beta began in February. A bit of
Okay.
backstory
I actually don't know what the new low is, and this is from July.
is needed here. On June 13th, the developers of PTCGO, a game that shouldn't exist anymore, I might add, posted on their forums that Pokemon Go will be available on Thursday, June 30th at 10 a.m. Pacific, following maintenance on Tuesday, June 28th. It was detailed down to the minute and let players know exactly when the new set was coming. This is something they do with every single set. On the official Pokemon TCG Live forums, we heard nothing. That, unfortunately, is common. I practically
Okay, so if this is just a big video, like, and this is just a not a big video, but 5 minutes. If it's just 5 minutes of complaining that Pokemon Go set wasn't put onto PTCG Live, like, here's essentially how I feel on that is like PTCG Live, I didn't expect it to be updated to on a regular basis with new sets and stuff like PTCGO, because PTCG Live was never meant to be treated like a new way to play Pokemon TCG right now. But the issue with that is the audience that ended up downloading PTCG Live didn't understand that, and it is still the responsibility of TPCI that they let people transfer their accounts. The account transfer, yes, the people chose to do it. Yes, they knew that they couldn't transfer back, but TPCI should have never given them the opportunity to transfer their accounts because this game is just a mess.
begged the Pokemon Company to improve their communication on Twitter, and even Outcast posted on the live forums wondering why they never communicate anything. But then finally, in the very early morning of Tuesday, June 28th, the developers said there would be 8 hours of maintenance that day to add, among other things, the Pokemon Go expansion. I was elated. While the communication was horrible, they made it seem like Pokemon Go would be out even earlier on live than PTCGO, finally giving live players a reason to play the new game and be happy about it. Well, after the update
But
went live,
that's the thing, guys. Terrible communication from TPCI, and they, I think they're just tone deaf. At least the people in charge of PTCG Live, or the people inside of the PTCG Live dev team, I think they expected to put this PTCG Live beta out, and handfuls of people from Canada would get on and try it out, and then when they have released it into Mexico, handfuls of people there, and then when they release it into Australia, I don't think they thought that these like on live competitive PTCG people that are craving an updated way to enjoy the game on their computers would be coming in troves and in forum posts and support tickets and Twitter threads and tagging and emails. I don't think they expected people to treat this like it was a new game ready to be played yet. And that's why they gave the option to transfer. I don't think they realized that it would be a large scale issue with ramifications of people transferring and then being upset with the state that the game is in, which again is why there should never have been an option to transfer your account in the first place. It was very stupid Like that's as I don't know how else to say it. To allow players to transfer into an unfinished game and no, you can't transfer back. They told us that, yes, but you shouldn't give your you shouldn't give your customers an opportunity to have a horrible experience. That's the bottom line.
Live on Tuesday, Pokemon Go was nowhere to be seen. Okay, just more of the bad communication. The PTCGO devs said it'd be out on Thursday at 10 a.m., so I waited patiently. But then on Wednesday night, the cards randomly showed up in live and were even purchasable and playable, but the art never loaded. That was weird. I waited until Thursday at 10 a.m. just to be safe, and that's when the cards appeared in all their glory, and packs were even available to buy in the in-game shop. I crafted all the playable cards and built some new decks, then got ready for stream. The stream.
Okay, honestly, in the next 3 minutes, this person is going to really have to turn this video around to convince me that PTCG Live should be canceled. Because I just see a game in beta. That's all I see. I don't see a game that should be canceled yet from what this person is showing me in the video.
Stream started, I went to play a game in standard, and this happened. I was floored. You can buy the cards and build the decks from Pokemon Go with no issue, but when it comes to actually playing against other people, you can't. I double checked the patch notes, and the developers sneakily added on the 30th that Pokemon Go would be out on June 30th. Previously, it never even mentioned a date. We were just left to assume it would be out on the 28th with that update. Regardless, it was June 30th and I still couldn't do anything. So the brand new Pokemon card game couldn't access the brand new Pokemon card set, but the old Pokemon card game that's been out for 10 years got it without issue. Makes sense. In fact,
it does make sense, though. It does make sense. PTCGO, I said this to somebody. I think I said this in my Discord. By the way, guys, exclamation Discord, join my Discord. I was talking about PTCG Live and PTCGO in there today. Yeah, okay, here's what I said. PTCGO was not a bad game. PTCGO is not a bad game. It's essentially hardly even a game. It's just a simulator to play cards online. PTCGO is an old software. That is the best way to describe it. PTCGO is an old software from, I think development started in either 2010 or 2011 for it. I think 2010. PTCGO is an old software, began development in 2010 for the Pokemon trading card game to play it online. I would not say that it is awful. It's it's a fine way to play Pokemon cards online, but the bottom line is that it's old. And let's rewind what he just said to elicit that response from me.
Pokemon card game that's been out for 10 years got it without issue. Makes sense.
So he's saying makes sense, sarcastically, of course, because I'm picking up on the timbre of his voice. But it does make sense. Because Direwolf Digital has to do nothing to put new cards into PTCGO. They get the cards, alright, cool. We'll put this text and the code into there and ship it out. And it's in. It probably took them minimal effort to put a 50 card mini set into PTCGO and for it to be working, because they've been doing it for the past decade with every release for Pokemon. It does make sense to me that would happen, because the PTCG Live developers are making their spaghetti code from scratch. They're not even buying boxed spaghetti. They have to make the flour and pat it and roll it and put it through that machine like this, and then the spaghetti comes out the other side. Then I don't know how spaghetti becomes hard after you rolled it with the dough, but then the spaghetti somehow becomes hard, and then you put it in the pot. PTCG Live developers have to do all of that with the code. And then in PTCGO, they're like, oh, new cards, here you go, have them, have fun, go nuts. And where PTCG Live is essentially an indie dev team within TPCI trying to do all this and keep the people happy. Again, bottom line, they shouldn't have let people transfer their accounts. Let's go.
In fact, as of recording the audio for this video on July 1st at 2 p.m., you still cannot use Pokemon Go cards in live, despite PTCGO having the set for more than a day.
That's because
But things
PTCGO
actually get worse.
That's because PTCGO is a real piece of software that has been in use for so long. That's why. I don't think I'm going to be happy with the rest of this video.
First off, the developers discovered that if you play the game on mobile after downloading the new update, it soft locks you if you try to inspect the board. So let's say you use shady dealings, check your deck, and want to survey the field to get a better idea of your next move. Guess what? The game freezes. And it gets even worse than that. When Astral Radiance launched at the end of May, there were several issues. Pyukumuku was immediately banned and remained that way for a month. With the Pokemon Go update this past week, it was finally fixed though. So that meant you could finally play Sanders' Mewtwo V-Union deck from NAIC, right? Nope. Silene has also been broken.
Actually, Professor Poke, no, they're not, but they're not going straight from homemade to the pot, right? They're making their pasta homemade, and then they are, they're selling it to be used, right? So like they have to make the pasta, but then they also have to box it, and then they have to send it to us, and then it has to be, edible. That's what PTCG Live is.
Broken since the launch of Astral Radiance in May, and the Pokemon Go update a month later didn't fix it. Silene is supposed to let you put any cards from your discard pile on top of your deck. On TCG Live, it only lets you choose from the top 2 cards of your discard pile. It is utterly broken. But in the months since Astral Radiance, the developers didn't prioritize a fix or a ban for Silene since it doesn't work. You know what they did prioritize? Making the text size in the deck editor smaller. And remember my Mr. Rhyme V video about how it has a 1 energy attack cost instead of 3?
No, I don't remember that one.
That wasn't fixed either, and the card is still playable in its broken state. They haven't banned it or addressed it. And if history is any indication, there won't be another update to TCG Live until Lost Origin in September. On the bright side, matchmaking kind of works now after weeks of it being completely broken. You just have to hope that...
I mean, what this guy and everybody on Twitter and Reddit and everything, and in the PTCG Live support forums doesn't understand is this is not supposed to be a real game right now. Then I hope the dev team isn't listening to this kind of feedback and actually getting upset from it, because they're supposed to be developing a game that's in beta. They're not supposed to be providing a perfect experience.
That other people are actually playing the game, which is kind of rare. Anyways, I'll end my rant here because I could go on for hours about the issues with TCG Live, something I do on stream quite regularly. While I've had viewers and even other content creators like Gazerbeam tell me to go back to PTCGO since I'm literally the only one still playing live, I migrated everything on day 1. It was a huge mistake, and the Pokemon Company is essentially holding my digital card collection hostage and not letting me or anyone else return to PTCGO. So for now, I'll keep playing live, if only to tell people they shouldn't download it. I can't believe this is the game. This is the game that the Pokemon Company
Oh, that
is
Lunatone.
PTCGO with.
That Lunatone is just stuck on his screen, is it not?
I can't believe this is the world we're living in.
That's unfortunate. Anything else in this video? No, I still don't see how this video tells me that PTCG Live should be canceled. It's a game in beta development.